Hello, this is Purnachandra Higher Secondary School, Barimada. So, I am your lecturer in chemistry. Last class we have discussed the electrical properties and the defect in solid about the solid state, which is placed in class 12. Now we are going to discuss about the next part of the solid state, that is magnetic properties of solid. So, according to the magnetic properties, the solids are classified into 5 types. The magnetic properties are of 5 types, that is paramagnetic substance, diamagnetic substance, ferromagnetic substance, antiferromagnetic substance and ferrimagnetic substance. So, on the basis of the unpaired electrons, there are 2 types of magnetic properties of solids as shown, that is paramagnetic and diamagnetic. But on the basis of the dipole, there will be 3 parts of the magnetic field, that is ferromagnetic, antiferromagnetic and ferrimagnetic. So these 2 parts has been already read that in class 11. So we are going to discuss about at first paramagnetic, diamagnetic, then another. So the solid substance, what is paramagnetic? The solid substance which have or which shown the weak attraction force, that is weakly attraction force by the magnetic field. That is, if the solid substance shown weakly attraction or weak attraction force towards the magnetic field, then that type of solids are known as paramagnetic solid. So the weakly attraction force by the magnetic field is due to the presence of unpaired electron. At least one unpaired electron is present in case of paramagnetic substance. So it is due to presence of unpaired electrons, and the examples are like Cu2 plus, that is copper, Fe3 plus, that is iron ion. So like that. And another very important example, that is TiO, titanium oxide. So paramagnetic substance have at least one unpaired electrons, like copper, Cu2 plus. You already know that the electronic configuration of copper, that is 29. So in the outermost electron there will be 4s2 and 4s1 and 3d10. Now Cu2 plus, in case of Cu2 plus, that means 2 electrons are removed from the copper metal, so that will be the electronic configuration, that is 4s0 and 3d9. So in case of 9 electron, there will be 4 paired and 1 unpaired electrons are present. So Cu2 plus is paramagnetic in nature. Now in case of diamagnetic substance, the solid substance which is weakly repelled by the magnetic field, the solid substance which is weakly repelled by the magnetic field, then it is called diamagnetic nature. So this weakly repelled or repulsion is due to the absence of unpaired electrons. It is due to absence of unpaired electrons. So these are weakly repelled by the magnetic field, and it is due to the absence of unpaired electrons. Now you will know that how can you develop or how can you apply the magnetic field. Suppose there will be two poles, that is north pole and that is south pole. So the magnetic field developed between two poles, that is phi. So the magnetic flux or magnetic field developed between the two poles. Now these two poles or this magnetic field has to be applied to the solid substance. In case of diamagnetic, that will be the solid substance are weakly repelled by the magnetic field. Now the examples. So the example will be NaCl, TiO2, etc. These are the examples of diamagnetic substance. Also B2O5, that is vanadium pentoxide. It is very important example for the diamagnetic substance. Now we are going to discuss about the ferromagnetic substance, antiferromagnetic substance and ferrimagnetic substance. These are three are classified of the solid metals due to the on the basis of their domains, or it is called dipole. That means if there will be the solid or crystalline solids present, suppose these are the crystalline solids are arranged in a disciplined manner, then there will be no external force will be applied. That means no external force will be applied. So there will be the atom like that. But when an external force is applied, that is external magnetic force or external magnetic field is developed, has to be developed between the crystal particle, so there will be a dipole created. So there will be positive and then negative. Then the positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. These are called dipoles. So this type of dipole will be formed, and this dipole is known as domains or also known as grains. That is domain and also known as grains. So these grains, or on the basis of the alignment of these grains or domains, the solid substance are derived into three categories. So these are, at first, the ferromagnetic substance. If the lines or the domains are aligned in same direction, suppose these are the dipoles, so that is plus and that is minus. So if the domains or the dipole were aligned towards the same direction, then that is called ferromagnetic substance, and it is very strong attraction force. It have very strong attraction force, strongly attract towards magnetic field. So in case of ferromagnetic substance, it is strongly attracted by the magnetic fields. Now if you will remove the magnetic flux field, it is, now if you will remove the external magnetic field, then it acts as the self magnetic behavior. It acts as self magnetic behavior if you remove the external magnetic field. So you've seen that the iron particles, or in iron particles, if you will cover the iron particles with copper, then you have to apply the magnetic field. After the removal, it will act as magnet itself. So it is strongly attracted towards the magnetic field. Now the examples are like iron, nickel, cobalt, etc. and chromium oxide. All these are the examples of ferromagnetic substance. Now the antiferromagnetic substance, which is opposite towards the ferromagnetic substance. So the domains or the dipole are aligned in opposite direction. If one is bottom, then another is top. So these are aligned with opposite direction. So there will be no magnetic moment. That means magnetic moment will be zero, because of the alignment will be cancelled to each other. But in that case, the maximum magnetic moment, suppose the magnetic moment or net magnetic moment will be maximum, but in that case the net magnetic moment is equal to 0 because of the cancellation with each domains or alignment of the dipole. Now it will be the strongly repelled by the magnetic field, strongly repelled by the magnetic field. So the examples are Fe2O3, MnO, MnO2, etc. So the definition and the properties and the examples are very important for the magnetic properties of solids. Not anything should be written. So now the ferrimagnetic substance. So ferrimagnetic substance, or in case of ferrimagnetic substance, the alignment should be not equal. If three dipoles are in one direction, then two are opposite direction. Suppose one is one direction, then another is another direction. So these are the alignment of dipole or domains or grains, anything. So this type of alignment of the dipoles are called ferrimagnetic substance. Okay. Now these have the magnetic moment or net magnetic moment is not equal to 0, because there will be no cancel with each other. Suppose that will be cancelled and that will be cancelled, but there is in one direction, so there will be no net magnetic moment equal to 0. What do you mean by magnetic moment? You have already known that mu equal to, that is magnetic moment, mu equal to under the root over of n into n plus of 2. Here n is the number of unpaired electrons. Here n is the number of unpaired electrons. So the net magnetic moment should not be 0 in case of ferrimagnetic substance, but it is lies between this and this. That will be the maximum. So the net magnetic moment in case of ferrimagnetic substance is less than equal to the net magnetic moment of ferromagnetic substance. Okay, so these are the magnetic properties, and the examples are Fe3O4. This is very important example for the ferrimagnetic substance. Now a different properties of the ferrimagnetic substance, that is, if you will heat the ferrimagnetic substance, then it changes its behavior. Suppose this is very important. If you heat the ferrimagnetic substance, then it changes its behavior. So ferrimagnetic will be changes to paramagnetic, and that temperature by which the ferrimagnetic substance we have like paramagnetic substance is called Curie temperature. That is called Curie temperature. So what do you mean by Curie temperature? Curie temperature means the temperature at which the ferrimagnetic substance changes its own behavior, that will be paramagnetic substance. So it is called Curie temperature. Now that will be the very important topic, and it will be the last topic, that is magnetic properties of solid. Again I will tell you that paramagnetic substance, diamagnetic substance, ferromagnetic substance, antiferromagnetic substance and ferrimagnetic substance, those are 5 magnetic behavior of the solid. On the basis of the unpaired electrons there will be 2 magnetic properties, that is paramagnetic and diamagnetic. And on the basis of the domains like the dipole, there will be 3 magnetic properties of the solids, that is ferromagnetic substance, antiferromagnetic substance and ferrimagnetic substance. So this is very important. That will be the long question of your class 12 solid state. And finally the last part, which has been already left in your class, that will be the Bragg's equation. Very short terms, that will be 2 marks, or it has to be discussed. So next part will be the last part which has been left in our study, that is Bragg's equation. It is very important, that is Bragg's equation. That is the last part of your solid state. And Bragg's equation, there will be nothing, any definition of Bragg's equation, but you know that the constituent particles are arranged with regular manner or disciplined manner in case of crystalline solids. Okay, so crystalline solids are arranged with disciplined manner or regular manner. If you will reflect the X-ray, then the angle of incident, that will be the first layer, that will be the second layer. So if you will incident the X-ray, why you will incident the X-ray? Because X-ray has highest penetrating power, highest penetrating power, because it has low wavelength. We know the energy is inversely proportional to the lambda, that will be the wavelength. So if wavelength is small, then energy will be more. So X-ray will be reflect or X-ray will be incident with an angle of incident, that is theta, and angle of reflection is also theta. Now another X-ray will be reflect towards the second line, and that will be like that. So we know that is the point of atom, and that will be the atom. So that distance is known as d. So this distance is also known as d, or is called d. Now the path difference, that equal to that when that will be separate, like that, this. So this distance is equal to this distance, and this distance is equal to this distance, but that is the distance or path difference from this first X-ray diffraction. Now that distance has to be calculated, that will be the Bragg's equation. So we named this, that is suppose A, B, C and D. Now this is the angle theta and that will be the 90 degree. So that is 90 minus theta, 90 minus of theta. Then this is theta, it is also theta. So we can calculate the path difference that equal to AD plus of DC. We have to calculate the distance of A to D and C to D. Then that will be the path difference from this and this X-ray diffraction. So AD, what is the value of AD? That is D and that is theta. So according to the trigonometric function, AD equal to D sin theta. So due to this distance and this distance is equal, now DC or CD is equal to also D sin theta. So the path difference will be D sin theta plus of D sin theta and that equal to 2D sin theta. So the path difference we know, the in case of magnetic field, the path difference, that is path difference is equal to the integer multiply of the wavelength, that is n lambda. Here n is the number of diffraction and that will be 1, 2, etc. Now path difference, that is n lambda equal to 2D sin theta, which is popularly known as the Bragg's equation. That is the last part of the solid state. So thank you guys, that is your class 12 first chapter and it has completed. So thank you.